The next question. Khatija Rahman, a homemaker from New York, USA. The Quran says that Allah has put a seal on the heart of the kafirs and they will never believe. According to science, the brain is responsible for understanding, thinking and believing, and not the heart. Is not the Quran contradicting with science? What the sister is referring to is verse of the Quran of Surah Baqarah, chapter number 2, verse number 6 and 7, where Allah says, Innal ladina kafaru, those who are rejecting faith. It's the same whether they want them or do not want them, they will not believe. And the next verse continues, Khataballahi qulubihim. Allah has put a seal on their hearts and on the hearing and on the eyes is a veil, and they will incur a penalty. The question posed by the sister is, when Allah says Allah has put a seal on the heart, it will not make a difference whether you want them or not. They will not believe. So what has heart got to do with them believing, them thinking? The intelligence is not in the heart, it's in the brain. So isn't the Quran wrong? What you have to understand, that the Arabic word used is qalb. Khatamallah qulubihim. Qulub is the plural of qalb, heart. The meaning of qalb in Arabic is heart. One of the other meaning is intelligence. And in Arabic, it is known that heart is also referred to as a center of intelligence. And every language develops. There's something like a literal meaning, and one is which is the practical meaning, how they use it. And I can give you several examples in English language also, where the literal meaning is something else, and the meaning what we actually mean is something else. I'll give you a very simple example, which most of us use. In English, we say sunrise. We know very well scientifically the sun does not rise, yet we use sunrise. We know today, and we've learnt in school, that it is due to the rotation of the sun in relation to the rotation of the earth, in relation to the sun, that it appears that the sun is rising. We know very well the sun is not rising. It is the rotation of the earth in relation to the position of the sun that it appears that sun is rising. Yet in English language we say sunrise. The other word sunset, we know that the sun does not set. It is the rotation of the earth in relation to the sun. It appears to us that the sun is setting. We know the sun doesn't set. Yet we regularly speak what is the time for sunrise, what is the time for sunset. We have in the newspapers. All of us know sun doesn't rise, sun doesn't set. Yet we use that language. Similarly, in Arabic language, we'll come to it later on, but there are many other examples in English. For example, we know very well that the center for emotion and for intelligence and for thinking, it is the brain, it's not the heart. And the center for love, it is the brain, it's not the heart. Yet when we say that we love a person, we say we love you from the bottom of my heart. We say that. We know very well that the center of love is not in the heart. It is in the brain. Imagine a scientist telling his wife, I love you from the bottom of my heart. And the wife says, you being a scientist, don't you know the basics of science? That love is not from the heart, it's from the brain. You should say, I love you from the bottom of my brain. And no Englishman says that. We know very well the center of love is in the brain. But that is how the language is developed. We love you from the bottom of the heart. Same way, we know that the center of memorization is in the brain. But when we ask someone, have you memorized this portion by heart? We say we memorize this by heart. The center of memory is not in the heart, it's in the brain. But in English language we say, I have memorized by heart. So this is how the language has developed. Similarly in Arabic, an Arab understands that the heart, the qalb mentioned, the center of learning is in the brain, but the heart is known as center of learning. It's known as a center of love. It is known as a center of memory. So that's the reason Allah says in the Quran, Khatamallahu qulubihim. Allah has set a seal on the heart. So this is one explanation. In the English language, how we use the heart for memory, for love, for emotion. Similar in Arabic, the heart is used as a center of understanding, love and emotion. That is the reason Allah says Allah has set a seal on the heart. Allahu Alam, tomorrow we come to know that actually it is, Allah knows best. But even using the terminology that we have today, that in English language, heart is used for center of love, for emotion, for intelligence, for memory. Similarly, Arabic it is the same. So when Allah says Allah has set a seal on the heart, no one has a problem, no Arab has a problem. And that's how we use even in the English language. Hope that answers the question.